Well, we're now joined by the man who spent almost exactly 2 years as the UFC welterweight champion, Tyron Woodley. Tyron, in this fight, it feels like the headline and the sound bites just underscore, I mean, it's a played out term, but the bad blood between you and Colby. How do your emotions for this fight compare to a typical fight week?
I mean, luckily for me, it's been a fight during the pandemic. So fighting during the COVID times is a little bit different. There's a little less access from media, a little less press conferences. We probably would have had a big press conference for this one. A lot of questions and feuds back and forth. But for real, I've been able to focus and just kind of tunnel in and just get ready for the fight. And it's been really refreshing. Really, up until today, I haven't really been hit with a lot of questions about it, and it's allowed me to not really focus on the things that really don't matter. Because at the end of the day, no matter how I feel about him, he feel about me, or anything else that you can add into the equation, we still got to fight Saturday, and that's what's important. And I've been able to focus on that, the fight itself. So it's been refreshing. I'm ready, motivated, and I'm focused on going out there and being victorious.
Well, Tyron, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about a little bit of the history between you guys. I mean, you trained with him in advance of the Rory McDonald fight back in 2014. What was the relationship like between you and Colby back then?
I mean, Kobe hadn't fought a professional fight yet, so he was an amateur fighter, and he was really trying to find his way. And like many of these welterweights, I was almost like a mentor to him, like where you need to fight this guy, and this guy's a good fight, and you need to set up like a press kit or a media kit so you can get sponsors, and and I paid him, paid him well, especially for where he was at in his career. He wasn't even making that in the fight. I paid him that per week to train with him. So, to be honest, his entire stint at American Top Team, they built a program based on high level wrestlers based off of me because of what I brought to the table. And they saw the benefits of having somebody like that around and how infectious that mindset was and how I was able to help guys like Eval with Thiago Alves, Dean Thomas, and different fighters elevate their wrestling defense, wrestling offense, and be more competitive against the wrestlers that really took over the sport at that time. So then Dan Lambert, the owner of American Top Team, started this program where he basically auditioned and did like tryouts and brought in the highest level wrestlers that wanted to do MMA. And Kobe was one of the first guys. And it was all based upon me. So his even affiliation before I even met him came from my hard work and my mentality and my work ethic. And he just wants to be me so bad. It's kind of sad, but I mean, a lot of these guys do.
Tyron, you and he shared a card in Macau back in, I think it was his UFC debut. At that point, you were starting to really get
Hmm.
into the title conversation. When did things start to sour between the two of you? Did it predate that card, or was it in the interim?
I would say before that card because I remember taking him in the back, and I remember telling him, "You're an asshole. I want to whoop your ass, but I'm literally going to squash all the beef. We both got work to do." We squashed it up in the locker room, and then we went out there and we said a prayer right before we went out there and fought.
And you guys have trained together. Tyron, you spent time as a UFC analyst, so I'm going to ask you to play analyst for us. You fought some of the best in recent times in the welterweight division. Where does Colby rank among those in terms of his skill set today?
I mean, his skill set is just pressure. He's not a great striker. I mean, kind of looks more like a cardio kickboxing class. He just strings together combinations that someone told him 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2 kick, Superman punch, right kick, knee takedown. But it's all smoke and mirrors to get close and pressure you. And his entire game is to try to smother you, stay glued to you, and not allow you to be able to punch him. It's kind of a fight. It's kind of a fight style based on fear. He doesn't have the power. Like when has Kobe ever hit somebody and watched their body drop and walk away and the fight's over with? Never. I've done that. I can't even imagine how many times in and outside the octagon. So he just don't possess that type of power. He don't possess the type of you know mentality where he's going to be submitting people. Maybe he'll get a rear naked choke once he smothers somebody and drained them, and they're not used to that. But in wrestling, it was a wrestling style, whether it was Minnesota or Iowa or, a different team, that I've experienced that type of wrestling style. So he has been very quiet this fight camp. You notice you haven't heard really anything from Colby Covington in the lease up to this fight, because he got to go and work now. He has to live up to all the stuff he's been talking. I never put his name in my mouth. He wasn't even in my crosshairs at that point. He utilized his entire 2017 and 2018 talking about me. I was 99% of all the social media. You guys can scroll back. I don't have time to scroll back, but this is what you guys do for a living. You can do it. So he had to utilize my hard work, my accolades, what I did, to try to piggyback himself to that so that he can finally make television. Before then, he was on Fight Pass for every fight. And not just Fight Pass in Asia only.
Tyron, last question from me. Obviously, this is an important fight in the welterweight division. What to you would be more satisfying, assuming things go well Saturday? Would it be the business satisfaction of things, or the satisfaction on a personal side of shutting somebody up who, like you said, has had your name in his mouth for some time?
It's just a personal satisfaction of going out there and not hesitating, doing what you're capable of because you're the best in the world, and going out there and being free in the octagon. That's all I'm looking for. Everything else will solve itself. I'm never gonna have a problem finding a bag, finding a new way to bring in income. I'm not gonna have a problem with having new opportunities or better ones within the UFC, just because I'm a businessman and this is what I do. I'm a professional. I treat people the right way, and at the end of the day, that means something. He, on the other hand, has all the pressure. I don't have the pressure. I just need to go out there and be free. If I'm free and I'm not distracting and I'm not, hesitating, I'm gonna beat everybody. And he's just the one that's up next.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.